Today we are installing a restrictor plate that we've manufactured at FiestaRacing.com. This restrictor plate has been hands-on and approved by Cow Club SCCA. This has not been approved by any pro racing such as World Challenge, Grand Am, etc. Today we are going to be installing the restrictor plate by Fiesta Racing to show how simple the installation and takeout pre and post tech at any race, rather than following the rules of tearing apart the throttle body to get the restrictor plate out for pre and or post tech. This, in the B-Spec class, there's a lot of work to be done to pull out the throttle body, not just on a Ford Fiesta, but I'm assuming any other manufacturer as well. So I'm going to take a flathead screwdriver and loosen up the hose clamp that holds the intake boot from the air box to the throttle body without removing any other plumbing and or hardware that may be in the way of removing the restrictor plate from the throttle body. You loosen up the hose clamp, you give the intake boot a tug, you get it out of the way. As you notice, the restrictor plate meets the B-Spec line. This is machined billet aluminum to lip over as you slide it down into the throttle body. It slides right into the throttle body, choking the throat down to the B-Spec line requirement. So after you've got the restrictor plate in the throat of the throttle body, you go ahead and install whichever application you have, the intake tube, which is factory. You put it into place. As far as removal goes, reverse the step. Simple as that. Okay, now that you've seen the install of the restrictor plate, pre-throttle body, we installed the intake tube back on. We tighten up the stock clamp, OEM, and we have ourselves a restrictor plate pre-throttle body. Now on this scenario, you can see in this engine compartment that the B-Spec requires that you run all emissions, all stock airbox, stock location, intakes, whatever the B-Spec rules are, no matter what manufacturer it is. You can see how simplified that restrictor plate was. Now on a dyno, that does restrict the performance of the engine. I realize that SCCA states that it should be post behind the throttle body, and we've done some tests and actually found that with all the tear apart of the throttle body, some of the emission lines that run across here that you have to get out of the way to get the throttle body out, etc., you're talking that it takes time, whether it's pre and or post, and you have to get it lined up, carry extra gaskets, so forth. Either way, this restrictor is choking down air into the throttle body. We have not seen any sensors, indications, or warning lights come up due to this restrictor, which we have been told that they could possibly, the restrictor plate behind the throttle body, due to all the emissions and everything that we have to run in a B-Spec class, might throw an error, a code out. So that is something, plus the time to tear it apart, that is something that needs to be looked at, and this is something we've come up with for the Ford Fiesta in the B-Spec class. FiestaRacing.com is offering the Ford Fiesta restrictor plate for $60 retail. If you're interested and would like to try it out and get it to your local club for their inspection and approval, give me a call. We can work something out, or go to FiestaRacing.com. Thank you.